Alright guys, so back with the XRS Matrix, and today we're going to be transforming the interior of this car, and I do want to give a big thanks to Safety Restore for wanting to help out with this car as well. So, as you guys know, this car, I mean, it's not terrible. I gave it a okay detail, but one of the biggest things that happened with this car was when I first bought it, one of the seatbelts didn't even work, so I went ahead, ordered a new seatbelt, and it's been working fine. But then I had an issue with the driver's side seatbelt, and then I actually replaced that, and I'm still having issues. So now we need to take all these seatbelts out and actually send them out to get restored. So there is something that I guess inside of these modules, when you get into an accident, as well as for backstory on this car had a previous accident which had some front end damage, not anything bad, but it just bent in some of the front stuff, smashed the headlight and all the other good stuff. But they just cheaply fixed it just to get this car on the road, and since it's a Toyota, this thing has been driving perfectly fine. But there's airbag lights, there's issues with the airbag system, and I just want to get it fixed. So today we're going to be taking out all the interior of this car, taking out the seatbelts, getting them sent out to Safety Restore, taking out the airbag module, getting that also sent out to Safety Restore, and we're also going to be changing the seatbelt color too. So take a guess at what the seatbelt color is going to be. But now let's start tearing apart this whole interior and getting the seatbelts ready to ship out, and then we're going to give this thing a good cleaning. I pretty much got this front seats out, taking out the mats now, so it's honestly not terrible in here, but I did find a few things that intrigued me. One interesting thing that I did find that I didn't even know, I didn't really pay attention to this car, but I'm gonna assume that this was some type of 6 CD discs.
What?
This was some type of multi-disc CD player for this car. It's a Pioneer. I mean, everything looks stock on here, so not exactly sure what this was for. I mean, as well as it looks like it's missing the CD drive or whatever that goes in there. And then obviously I know this is, I'm pretty sure, the power inverter for the outlet. What was interesting is as I was taking the passenger seat off, I found a piece of a seatbelt and a spare bolt. I'm not sure what those go to because all the seats and everything had a bolt, but I guess I'll keep looking. But I found that, which is a little concerning, but I'm gonna keep on gutting the back seats. They should be fairly easy to take out. I got the entire center console out, and I got to where the SRS module is. One thing to note that this car is filthy. I thought it was decently clean, but obviously when you start lifting up things that never get lifted up, you start finding how disgusting things really look, and yeah, it is very disgusting. Another funny thing is, like, I found so much loose change, and I've been hearing so many rattles and stuff like that, and honestly I think it's from the loose change, but also too I'm finding loose bolts and stuff just sitting around, which is actually horrible. Someone's been here, and I can definitely tell that someone's also been over by the SRS module. So one thing to note when I'm doing this, I don't know, there's a zip tie. I don't know if you guys can see, there's a zip tie holding some of the wiring harness and stuff. I don't know if it's supposed to look like that or if someone just hackily put something together, but this doesn't look correct. I'm gonna try to find out like a picture and see if I can find anyone else has done something like this, but this literally does not look like how Toyota would have left it from the factory. So, but let me continue trying to get this unbolted. I don't even know what I have to do but I might give the car a quick vacuum real quick just because it feels so disgusting and I don't even want to sit down anywhere in here. But yeah, I just want to get this airbag module out of here. Took this out and I already see a very interesting look at what's happening here. And something to note too on my car is the airbag light actually never comes on, but when you scan the car I have like 3 or 4 airbag lights. And looking at this, and I'm going to assume, because these 3 plugs right here look identical to the 3 plugs that are actually on the airbag module, and this looks like it's some weird piggyback thing that I don't know what's inside of this sleeve, but there might be something that's like lying to the computer and saying that the airbag thing is fine. But I don't know, I've never seen anything like this, and all the airbag module replacements that I see are just the housing without any of this wiring on it. So very, very, very interesting to see. But I got everything all disconnected. It's actually pretty easy. There's 3 bolts. They're 12 millimeters bolts on 3 of the 4 corners. As you can see, 1, 2, and 3. The other corner does not have anything. So, but yeah, there is some weird stuff going on here. Like I said, the zip tie is what really threw me off here. Toyota doesn't do, I mean, obviously they do stuff like this, but this doesn't look normal. And after seeing how clustered all the wires were, it definitely seemed like someone had been in here before. So, but now this is why we got to send this off to get replaced. Luckily this is still a Toyota part. I'm going to assume it's the OEM one that came with the car, but we got to get that factory reset, as well as all the airbag, or as well as all the seat belts as well. So I'm going to kind of tuck some of these wires back in here because I think I unplugged the O2 sensors, as well as a bunch of other miscellaneous clips just to get access to this. So, but now that this is out, now we can work on the seat belts and get these things taken care of and start cleaning this car up. So taking out these Matrix seatbelts are actually very, very easy. You're going to want to pull this trim back on both sides so that way all the plastic trim can come out. You're going to want to split this in half. So you'll pop this cover off and then that'll expose a, I think it's a 14 millimeter. And then there's going to be one under this cover. This will just slide off. There'll be another 14 there. And then if your seals are off, you can just take these. Has a few clips that'll just pop out. And then this will come out, but there's 2 clips on the bottom. And I think there's 2 little pieces that clip in to this plastic piece right there. And then that will expose your seatbelt tensioner. So you're going to want to disconnect your airbag connector. And then there's a 14 and a 10. And then the whole airbag, I mean, the whole seatbelt will just come right up. Alright, so looks like I won't be driving the GR anytime soon. I pretty much have the entire interior gutted on this car. I did not realize what it actually took. At least the front seats could have stayed in, but those are very easy to take out. But the rear seats and the seatbelts, you pretty much have to take this entire trunk hatch apart in order to actually get access to the seats or the seatbelts, because the tensioners are put right there. I mean, you could probably pry on the plastic and get away with it, but you literally have to take the seat out in order to take this bracket out. And then once you take that bracket out, there's a plastic piece here that will come out. And then once you take this piece out, then you can undo some bolts over here, but then you have to take the floor out in order to get these out. And it literally just led on to taking the entire interior apart. So now you can kind of see I got all the seatbelts pretty much all in a box. I'm going to clean these up and then we'll get them packed up to go over to the safety restore. But now you can see how disgusting, like even like working on the interior of a car, my hands have never felt this gross before, but like you could just see the amount of caked on dirt and dust, and like, I mean, there's literally trash right here, or like, I don't even know, this is a vacuum attachment. And then another thing I noticed too is this tube isn't even attached to where the drain is, because you can see on this side where that is. I'm gonna assume that's the sunroof drain. So, and it does look a little moist over here, so you can definitely tell that it's just been dripping into the interior. But all this stuff needs to get wiped down. I mean, this is just super filthy and disgusting underneath all these seats and stuff. So now we got all this out. I'm gonna be detailing everything on this car to make this thing look brand new again. So I think pretty much everything can be restored. Some of the plastic trim is actually, I mean, it's scratched up, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that looking perfect, but try to get all the stains out of it, try to get everything looking as near new condition as possible. So, but yeah, I literally can't believe I destroyed the entire interior just to take out seatbelts and get it clean, but it's gonna be well worth it in the end. So let's hop in, let's just start vacuuming and wiping down everything on this car. Interior, I got it rough vacuumed. There's still some spots like in all the little crevices and stuff that I need to go to, and inside of here still needs a good cleaning. So, but I have some pretty high hopes for this interior, especially the carpet. I think doing a nice shampoo scrub, this will come out really good. But look how gross some of this stuff is. Like, you never realize, like, when you spill a little drink or something like that, it just sticks to everything, and then all the dust and debris just starts sticking to the sticky stuff. I've been scrubbing at this, and I got this looking pretty good. After 3 rags, my last rag was finally looking fairly clean. So, I mean, and this is actually all pretty much blue. So, this actually came out really nice compared to what this looks like. So this is what I haven't done yet, and this is what I did do. So this black down here is all the paint fading or coming off from the sound editing, but this is literally what it looked like before. What a major difference. And I still want to go back and finish clean this up, because there's still a bunch of dirt inside of all the seam sealer and all the other good stuff there. But I wiped down this side, and I wiped down all of this. So I'm gonna move on to getting this done. Like literally, look at the night and day difference between where I scrubbed and where I did not scrub. So like I said, didn't even know this was going to be the same color as the car, but I guess this was painted. But yeah, this is disgusting. I don't know what this car was used for, but it definitely, I mean, I don't know what the heck this is. But another thing too, can we just talk about how these people, whoever owned this car, did everything so cheaply and half-assed that, I mean, even it looks like they replaced the fuel pump and they didn't get the correct pump or whatever, or lid, that it looks like they just bolted this down with some washers and some self-tappers rather than using the actual holes that are supposed to be on there. So I'm going to assume this isn't even the correct fuel pump for this car, but it's working, so I'm not going to complain. But just looking at how they did everything in this car, it was so half-ass, and they didn't do a good job at anything. Like I said, including the airbag stuff, the steering wheel, and you name it, the radio was just complete junk. So we're literally going to be turning this car and making it look brand new. Alright, so now that we got the seatbelts sent out, it's time to get this interior actually looking clean, so we actually throw it back into the Matrix. So right now, as you can kind of see, the seats have some stains. The interior trims are pretty gross. Armrests, gross. Everything that came out of this car was pretty gross. So we're going to get the steamer out. We're going to steam all this stuff. We're also going to get the extract the seats and get all this stuff looking perfect. So when the seatbelts come, we can throw everything in and it'll be like a brand new car. So let's just start laying this stuff out and getting it all cleaned.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew.
I just got this seat extracted and it actually took me a little bit longer than I thought it would have, but it looks a million times better than what it did. Like this is kind of what it looked like. A lot of splotchy staining all over the place. This looks very clean. It is a little darker because it's still a little damp. We'll see how it dries, but there was actually a decent stain in the headrest. Hopefully it won't come back when it dries, but I went over it like 5 or 6 times to get rid of pretty much anything. But overall, looks really good. The seats are in overall good condition. I mean, there are a few little like wear marks where it's actually wearing through the material, and you can kind of see there is a little rip right there. So same with here. It's very weird, like they had the same exact like holes on the mirrored pattern, so I'm not sure if like people who sat in here had like something sitting in their pocket that touched relatively the same points, but there's a little mark here and there, but not too bad for what they are for being over 20-year-old seats. So let's start chugging along, get onto this seat and then the back seat. So, and then we'll kind of clean up all the trim pieces as we go along, but like pieces like this too, we'll see if we can get rid of the overspray on them because that's how badly this car was painted. But anyways, let's just keep chugging along, and this is pretty much what came out of that seat. So very black. Alright, so I just finished doing all 5 seats, I guess you could say. I got them looking a million times better. I don't want to say they're perfect because there were some sides that had some really like dark orange color to it. I don't know what kind of staining it was, but I couldn't get it perfect, but I got everything looking really good. So they're just basking out in the sun to hopefully dry them out quick, and then we will move on to getting all this stuff all cleaned up. Like I said, you can see all the like drips and coffee and everything that they spilt all over the place. So we're gonna try to get all this stuff nice and clean. So let's hop on to this, and then hopefully the seatbelts will be here and we can throw all this into the interior. As we were just cleaning the seats, we finally got a package in the mail, and it was our seatbelts. So let's take a look at these things. These things are looking good. So right here, we got the seatbelts, and look at that color. Can you guys see it? This is the color we're going for the Matrix. I don't know if you guys guessed it or not, but we're putting blue seatbelts in the Matrix. So I was actually going over the seats one more time because the first time they looked pretty good, but you could see that I did miss some spots. So I was just redoing them. But as we were redoing them, this showed up. So I want to get this stuff in that car. As you can see, there has been a turn of events of where all my stuff resides, because that car should not be sitting down there. It should be right here, and this car should not be in the garage because I don't have any room for it. But if you guys saw this car, the transmission pretty much blew up. So that's why it's in here. It's getting ready to get fixed. So got very minimal garage space for all this stuff. So now I have to pretty much bring everything down there so that we can put it in. So, but we still got to get that interior cleaned up on that car. So let's hop in there now and get that done. But again, I do want to give a big shout out and thanks to Safety Restore for supplying the seatbelts, rebuilding them, getting everything all changed. Because if you're not familiar, they are the best place to send to either get your seatbelts repaired, get your SRS module repaired, or even, like me, just changing up the seatbelt color as well. So if you guys are very interested in any of this stuff, I will drop links down below for them, so that way you can upgrade your interior. Alright you guys, so I just extracted the carpets inside, and they mainly around here was probably the worst. Obviously there's still some staining up here and on the front over there, but my focus was trying to get the stuff that's going to get covered by the seats and stuff, so that way if I want to go in afterwards again, try to clean the stuff up a little bit more, I definitely will, because there's some, it's a lot of wear and tear as well. But I have to say, for a 22-year-old car, this car is actually cleaning up really good. So, but now I'm going to go get the center console, everything like that to throw in here, as well as the seatbelts. But let's go take a look at those. So this color looks really good. So I can remember, I believe this is cobalt blue. So this is like a kind of a dark blue, but not fully dark. So this looks really good. So we're going to take out the front seats. We're going to find the front ones and we're going to throw those in real quick, and then we'll do the back ones when we're getting the seats ready. I believe they reprogrammed these to get rid of any crash data on there, so we're going to do that. I still have no idea what this is. I don't know if I need this or not. I tried doing some research and I can't find anything, but I'm going to take this off because I don't think it's needed for this car. I think it's, like I said, these 3 plugs here are the exact same 3 plugs right here. I think that whoever owned this before me, they tried to do something with the airbags, and this was their fix. So I'm just going to disconnect this too, so that we can throw this into the car as well. Guys, this is looking amazing. After realizing that I put these on, I had the wrong one on here. I was like finagling with it for a little bit, and that's when I realized I had the wrong one. But 2 minutes later, it's on. I gotta get this trim piece so I can put that on first because this can't bolt on without the trim piece up top. But let me go grab those and then we'll finish bolting these on. But this blue is looking super nice. Alright, so I pretty much got the front 2 seat belts in, and they are looking fantastic. So now it's the fun part to actually start throwing all this stuff in. My camera died, but I got the armrest in, and I kind of gave everything a quick vacuum. I got this I got to throw over there. I got the other thing I got to put over under the seat first before we do this, and then we can throw in the seats and the center console. So let's keep on trucking along and getting this interior looking perfect and back to as original as possible. So most of the stuff, I'm actually surprised at how clean and good it's coming out. Like the center armrest, it definitely looks like it's taking a beating, but hopefully I can get some nice vinyl finishing cleaner, and that might help this. I just use an all-purpose just to kind of degrease it, but I think if I get an actual vinyl cleaner, it might clean up just a little bit. All right, and something else too that I bought was some new seatbelt buckles for these. I just want to make sure everything is perfect and no issues with any of the airbags or seatbelts. So I bought these from Toyota, about $70 for both of them. So let's replace them real quick. So I'm pretty sure I got the whole front half of the car pretty much assembled. Ignore the back half. But right now, I think this is all I need to get the car started to make sure everything is working and my airbag stuff is gone. So let me just look at this real quick and then we'll see if I have to do anything else. Scanned all the codes and everything is coming back good. No check engine lights, no airbag lights, no nothing like that. I had 3 permanent SRS codes that I could not delete, and so after they reset that module and then repaired all the seatbelts, everything is gone. So now this car is pretty much ready to start driving with no issues. Alright, so I just got this interior all together and this thing is looking good. Let's take a look at this thing right now. This thing is looking amazing. So this blue and like the light dark gray on the seats doesn't look too bad. I do wish it was actually black. If you guys know some good seat covers, let me know down below, because I would like to put some black seat covers in this. But all in all, I mean, this thing is looking good. Safety Restore killed it with the seatbelts. I mean, they are perfect. I love the color. I love everything on this. But this car is definitely looking really good. There is a few things I definitely want to try to go back and try to fix sooner or later, but there's so much overspray on all these plastic trims. I was trying to scrub it, but it just was taking a really long time. So I was just taking some Scotch-Brite and then just trying to get rid of most of it, but there's still some overspray because this is textured plastic, so it's all inside of there. If you guys have a good recommendation on getting rid of some of this overspray, and that way I can get this looking a million times better. But anyways, I mean, everything on this car came out looking really good. So for a 23-year-old car, I'd say it definitely cleaned up pretty good. So these seats, like I said, a few little things here and there, but other than that, they look good. Don't forget to check out Safety Restore down below. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.